We saw Dawson's Creek, the movie, 902.
That was not, no.
I never watched Dawson's Creek. I don't know. It felt like some whiny romance episode of something.
No, that was, fuck that. Fuck that so fucking hard. That was, they took the book and made a Nicholas Sparks movie out of it. That was seriously if the fucking Notebook was an adaptation of Gerald's Game.
Or Misery.
Fuck that. Or Misery, yeah. Whatever. No,
okay.
That is... Go ahead.
I was just going to say real quick, because like in the theater, we were the only ones in the theater. It was fantastical because we're sitting here just
Dude, I couldn't
loudly,
even say that much.
Talking and making fun.
I was so fucking mad. I was shaking in the... I was shaking in my seat. How piss on that fucking movie.
I just thought that you were mad at me for making jokes at this.
No, it was the movie. Did you not see that piece of shit?
Oh no, I saw it. I was like, can we call Film Brain and just have them over speakerphone go symbolism, because it's so art school thrown at you, and honestly, the main character... Yes, it is, dude. No, from what I learned in the film school... No, the symbolism with the dad. Like, this movie was the dad's movie.
This is the worst adaptation I've ever seen in my life. Ever seen. In terms of how different this is than the source material. I've seen much worse movies than this that are based on books. Good adaptation or bad adaptation.
So it's a bad adaptation, or it's a bad movie
it's
and
both.
Adaptation? Okay.
It's a bad fucking movie. In terms of its adaptation, this is... I've never seen an adaptation this far off that completely
So you read the book?
Yeah. And it's the 80s version is a better adaptation than this. And the 80s movie's bad. It's fucking bad. The 80s movie's a piece of shit.
At least was interesting from what I saw in your review. From what I saw in your review, stuff actually happened.
The original movie got shit wrong from the book, but stuff from the book still happened in it. Just tonally, it was way off, and it was way off tonally and completely missed the point in every way, shape, or form. But it at least tried to be an adaptation. This is... No.
So basically, they could have called this anything. They
yes!
could have called this random.
They could have. This is all you... For those of you who have read the book... This is all I need to tell. This is going to infuriate you so much, what I'm about to say. Because this right here is going to tell... This right here is going to tell you how bad and completely off base... Scott Spencer should sue to get his name off of this fucking thing.
They did say based on the book. And I just want to make something clear before you go on. I didn't like this movie. I think it's hilarious because of your commentary on how it was different. I didn't know you were this upset from what you were saying in the theater.
I couldn't speak in the theater. I was so fucking mad at this thing.
I found it so bad, almost comical, having... Hold on. No, I know. I'm saying... Having seen your review, and then just kind of you telling me the differences on what actually happened in the book to what it was and what I witnessed. So I just want to put it out there that I did not think this is a good movie. That's not why I'm laughing. So you go.
If you want to see something that's like funny and whatnot, watch the fucking 1981 one. This movie is not fucking funny. This movie is a middle finger to the fucking face. So is the original one too, but this is a middle finger to the face and then they stick it up your ass afterwards.
It's more so funny that they had to call it a remake and make it Endless Love when it could have been anything. And then just honestly, the shots they did of symbolism with the dad, that's what was getting me, is honestly, if you look into it, the dad was the main character of this movie.
The dad was the villain in this movie.
And the main character, because he was the only one that evolved. He was the only one who changed through the movie. He was villainized.
No,
he grew. They had symbolism with him and his dead son.
He's the only one with an arc, but he's not the main character.
But they focused so much on the dead son, and
he
then
has an arc, but it's not. He's the villain.
With the fire, they zoom in on the dead son's possessions, and then it's like, I've changed.
I know, but like, here's what No. This movie does not deserve a fucking devil's advocate.
Oh, sure it does.
No, it
'Cause
doesn't. No, it does not. It really doesn't. Like, if you had read this book and went to go see this movie, you would be just as pissed off as me right now. I'm not even kidding. This is the single worst adaptation. I have.
Did you like the book?
I am. Would I be this mad if I if I didn't like the book? I wouldn't give a shit.
You could be a literary enthusiast who was just angry at the fact that they said that it was an adaptation of a book that was incorrectly.
One of my favorite
art.
horror movies of all time is The Shining, which by all accounts is not a good adaptation of that book, but it's one of those rare cases where the movie I thought was better than the book. This is not that.
This is what happens when I don't get to poke the bear with Jake. I poke the bear with you, so live with it.
This movie. Here's all you. This is what I was going to say earlier.
I'm sorry.
This is all you need to know, right here, to tell you how bad this movie is. For people who have read the book, The House Fire, which is very significant to everything that happens in the book.
It's very significant in this movie.
Let me. The book opens with the fire, and anyway, for people who've read the book, you know what that means and everything. And in this movie, that's the ending. The ending is the fire, but here's how it happens. I'm sorry. Here's how it happens. The son is dead in Jade's family. There's one of them, yeah. Not the Keith, but the other one. And so in his room, they have a bunch of his old stuff in there, and there's candles, and the dad is the villain, and the movie is they're in love, and you know what? I'll get to that in a second.
The dad's the only antagonist in this movie.
Yeah, the dad is the antagonist in this, but okay, so it ends, and the dad is fighting with the daughter because she's in love with David. He's in love with her. The dad hates David, and there's some candles in the room, and when they're fighting, the dad accidentally knocks over one of the candles, and that's what sets the house on fire. Just an accident from the dad sets the house on fire, and then David storms into the house after him to save his life. He saves the dad's life, brings him out, and that's what now the dad is like accepted David and whatnot, and him and Jade live happily ever after. That's the end.
But the dad has like trying to save all the possessions, and it was like all in that, and be like, it's the shrine to the dead brother. Be like, no, I've got to save his stuff. And then literally they show a shot of the dad looking at his armful of possessions. David pulled a backdraft because he opens the window and gets like knocked out. And the dad literally looks at his possessions, looks at David, looks at the possessions, drops the possessions, and goes to David. And then after he pulls them out, they zoom in on the burning like diploma or whatever in the frame. It was like Christopher, blah 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 blah. Symbolism, because he's letting his son die finally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what happens. That right there tells you all you need to fucking know about this goddamn movie. The only funny thing about this, because this is not funny, this is so insulting to the point of I can't even describe it, but the only funny goddamn thing about this is picturing some teenage girl going to this movie and liking it so much that they're gonna read the book. Talking about period blood sex in front of a fire.
You did tell me about the book differences. I didn't even think about that. Oh, you know what? I wonder if
that makes me laugh.
I wonder if they're gonna change you know how when a movie comes out, they change the book covers to match the movie, when the book already exists.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm running on like little sleep for days and days, so I am more punchier than usual. I think I'm finding more joy in this because this is the first human contact I've had for a while.
In an empty theater with this fucking thing. God damn it. God damn it. Seriously.
You sound like me after I saw Silent Hill.
This is different.
No, it's not. It was a video game. It's basically the same being mad over an adaptation.
Yeah, but you were a little more...
I'm just
I don't
more
think you were
vocal.
quite as raged as I
Really?
am right now.
You guys just didn't let me get it out. I was pissed. I
talked
still
a lot
bitch
in
about
that video. Mixed in with Irving and his Heath Ledger jokes.
He's such a joker.
The movie is him and Jade. They graduate. They're graduated from high school, which right there, fuck you. But they're graduated high school. They're effectively the same age. They're essentially adults. They're essentially adults. I don't even know why there's even... Because they're technically adults, I don't know why there's even fucking conflict with the goddamn family.
The dad should be allowed to put a restraining order
the bad
out.
guy in this.
Yeah.
He is. He's the villain. The dad is a psychopath in this. And it's Bruce Greenwood, and he's Jade's dad. He plays Hugh. Hugh,
Julia from
Jade's
Nip Tuck
dad,
is the
and
mom.
Julia's the mom, and but he's this psycho. Like, David is... He's perfectly reasonable in this, quite honestly. The dad just has it out for him.
Like, he does one stupid
psychotically
kid
so.
thing, and it's like it opens with he's a valet and some
With
jerk ass
annoying friend.
Yeah, Wayne Brady Jr.
Fuck that guy with it. Oh God.
Anyway, okay, so this is what strays down the I hate David path, and you've got the dad that, and I don't know, was the whole doctor apprentice thing in the book at all?
The dad's a doctor.
Okay, because in this, the daughter is going. Jade is supposed to.
No, they're
be
still in
a
high
doctor
school in the
apprentice
book.
thing.
In the book, they're still in high school. Like, that's one thing the other one got. The 1981 one got. I mean, like the 1981 one is a terrible adaptation. It's awful, but it is an adaptation of it. It's just a fucking bad one.
Like, even from the start off, the dad's a fucking dude.
He's
like,
crazy.
Yeah, well, because basically she's not an outcast, but she had distanced herself. So finally at the graduation, she's like, Dad, I want to throw a party and actually have everyone from school over. And so David actually gets everybody over because there's a party going on at the same time. The dad had invited all of his work friends. Then when the kids show up, he's all like, what the? And he's all pissed that these kids show up to the
they're
high
not
school party.
like loose liberal family and whatnot. In this, they're very
dirty
upper
dancing
class.
dad.
It
I
takes
don't
place
want
in
my-
like small town Georgia.
Yeah.
In this, like, fuck off.
It's cheaper to shoot there.
Yeah, I know that's why they did it.
It's like evil, dirty dancing dad, where it's like, I don't want you to be with my
Kinda,
girl, and I
but-
don't want. But at least she was 16 in that. Like, she was underage with like a 30-year-old or whatever.
And there's no like it's a tale of fucking young obsession and how it can drive you fucking mad. This is not that. This is a fucking Nicholas Sparks movie.
This is we're in love, and my dad won't let me go. My dad's doing bad things, and it was literally. And the reason why I said Dawson's Creek is it reminded me of that whole like, we're trying to break you up, so I do something bad, and then my dad is lying, and he's keeping us apart, and misunderstandings, and the girl that likes the guy is like imposing and making it seem like there's something not.
He's not even doing anything. Like he's. Now I'm just talking about it as a
sorry.
movie, but
That's how I
even as a movie, this makes no goddamn sense. Not that the other one, not that the 81 one did either, but like, okay, you know what? Let me try to distance myself from the book for a second.
I know it's hard to distance from source material.
And just compare it to the other movie, the 1981 one. Let me just try to compare it to that.
Break it down.
The acting is better in this than in the other one. It is. The acting is better in this movie.
I have to go look up and see if the guy that plays her brother is gay in real life, playing a straight guy. Because it so seemed like that.
Fuck, my gaydar was going off. I'm not even gay.
I was like, honey, you are not Neil Patrick Harris. And I'm like, okay, no, anymore.
Like, it was seriously like watching, like, Paul Lynde as a married man on the Paul Lynde show. Like, it was, wow. But, like, okay. Anyway,
Sorry, I digress.
looking at it as, like, comparing this movie to the original movie as a movie, taking the book out of it, which is fucking hard. But if I can do that, the acting in this movie is better. This movie is structured better.
We had Sue from Carrie playing Jade.
Yeah, okay.
I was just letting them know. The Gary.
This movie is structured better than the other one. This movie is... The other one was unintentionally creepy because they were taking stuff from the book and
Piecing it in there.
making it seem romantic, and it's not. It's like, and then in that 81 movie, it's just unintentionally creepy and horrifying. Like, but so there was that. This one, there's nothing really unintentionally creepy in this.
Other than the dad being,
it's a completely
like,
different movie.
overreactive.
It's hard to even compare this to the other movie, 'cause it's a completely different fucking movie. It's like trying to compare fucking, I don't know, like fucking Safe Haven to Blue Velvet. Like, it's, well, I mean, but okay, that's maybe bad, but like, because Blue Velvet's a great fucking movie, but it's like trying to compare Safe Haven to another like bad romance that has nothing to fucking do with this goddamn thing. Like trying to. No, that's easy to compare.
I don't know, you said the
Safe
Notebook.
Haven to like moment by moment. It's like comparing those.
You said Notebook and Misery in the theater.
Yeah,
That's why I
comparing
said
it to
Notebook.
like how far they off of an adaptation.
Yeah.
It would be like if that was an
what I
adaptation of like
meant.
goddamn Misery. But like fucking. So as a movie, like it shows their relationship is. It has a beginning. It has a beginning, middle, and end. The movie has an arc to it, more so than the 1981 one does. They actually, honestly, yeah, like the characters in this movie, as so far fucking off as they are from the source, yeah, they're better characters than they are in the 1981 one, yeah, because
It's basically not based on it.
Yeah, I could say that about fucking About Last Night, you know? Like, About Last Night was...
Say it about last night.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that was...
I'm sorry, this movie really, really fucking took my shit out, man.
I just want to say that this is very typical love story, dad intervening, but in this, the dad is very overreactive hate towards the love interest for no reason. What I was trying to say earlier, the spark of this was they took a joyride when he was a valet because the pricky dude was being a jerk, and so they pulled a Ferris Bueller, and that is the thing that sparks this whole I don't want you to be with my daughter, and it progresses into just this hate towards this guy for no reason. Like, that's the only thing wrong that he did.
Whereas, like, the 81 movie could be like, wow, they could easily rewrite this as just a psychological thriller with the fucking boyfriend. This one, they could easily make this a psychological thriller about the dad.
Well, yeah, and it starts out with, like, normal, like, okay, well, he's really uppity rich, and then it's like, okay, he's cheating on his wife, and David saw, so he's, like, the funniest thing, and I guess you didn't think it was so funny, is after
I thought
David...
nothing in this movie was funny.
Okay, but it reminded me, I thought he was going to pull, like, the South Park with the wiffle ball bat, because David had seen him kissing another woman besides his wife, and so the next day, he's like, hey, he's like, where's Jade? Oh, she won't be up for a while. Let's go out on the boat in the lake, and I'm like, don't do it! I thought they were going to pull a talented Mr. Ripley out.
Of course that wasn't going to happen.
I was hoping for it, because nothing was happening. Oh, real quick, I told him in the theater, Talented Mr. Ripley, my friend and I had seen it when it first came out Christmas Day, and the teasers were out for it. Just quick backstory, because he's writhing over there. And we didn't know what it was about, so we are just, oh, hey, it's the new Matt Damon movie. We get to the part, and Jude Law head gets smashed open with the paddle. We're like, what the fuck? Because
that was a good movie.
Right, so that's what I thought. Maybe that was just, because I told you how many times I was like, I'm
That
waiting for this
movie's
to go
a better
so dark.
adaptation to Endless Love than this fucking movie
No, I'm not
is.
saying it's a bad movie. I didn't say it was a bad movie.
I didn't say you thought it was a bad movie.
Oh, okay.
I'm just making
I'm
a
sorry,
comment.
I'm talking very quickly.
The movie it doesn't like the 81 movie has like this god awful parts of dialogue where they're not fucking saying anything to each other, and it's supposed
with their eyes.
and it's supposed to be like it's supposed to be fucking romantic whatever, but they're just talking like in I don't know, like I love you more. No, I love you more. No, I love you more. I love you more. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, like in the book, sure, like, but in the 81 movie, it was like it was supposed to be like this
Epic.
fucking like teen romance and whatnot, and it just didn't fucking work. It was fucking shallow as shit. This movie, like, okay, they do have conversations with each other. It shows them meeting.
There's a lap
and-
of time over like a month to where they're doing stuff.
The book spans over a lot of years. The book goes into when he gets out of. They do not do an insane asylum thing
The
in this or
closest
anything
to that
like
is
that.
my dad wants me to see a therapist after my girlfriend moved away after the dad's been crazy.
Yeah, he's in
and I don't
jail
wanna move
overnight
on.
at one point for trespassing.
It's not even overnight. He gets picked up the same night.
Okay. But,
think.
yeah, okay, so he gets picked up for trespassing and he's barely in jail. There's nothing like that in this movie.
And it
Nothing
was
like
still
that
a
at all.
good action. He got arrested for trespassing because he let Jade and the others run while he lured the cops away. So even then, he wasn't being crazy. He did something noble.
Yeah. Maybe, like, I guess this is a better... This movie made me way more mad. It made me way more mad than the 81 one
I feel
did.
bad for laughing now. I didn't
But-
know you were this mad when I...
Really?
In the theater! I did not
I was
know.
shaking in the
I
theater.
wasn't looking at you. It's not like I was like, how is Spider-Man?
I was in an empty theater, not making very many sarcastic remarks and sitting there like this, and I was yelling at the screen a few times.
How would you do that anyways and you're not usually that mad? When there's no people.
This movie made me more mad because it's just an insultingly bad adaptation. But as a film, if you've never read the book, if you know nothing about the book, okay, this movie sucks, even if you've never read the book. This movie sucks. But if you have not read the book, it's a better movie than the 1981 one. It's a better movie.
As a movie
As a
itself.
film, it's a better film, writing-wise, structure-wise, character-wise. It is a better yeah, definitely acting. Even the actors have better chemistry in this. But as a film, it's slightly better than the 1981 one. That is the only compliment I will fucking give this. And that's only if you've never read the book or heard of the book or anything like that. It's a better film.
See, I had to keep asking you because I never read the book, and the only thing I know of the original movie is from what I had seen when you posted the Snob video.
Oh, yeah.
So that was the only thing I was going off of. So
Yeah,
and I think that's why I found it so funny, is just because I saw... Again, I didn't see the book. I get it. I respect that you're upset. I did not know... I thought this was just a Snob episode. I did not know you were that hardcore over the book and the story. We did not have that conversation.
It's not like it... the book is a great book. But it's not like it's like my Bible or anything. I don't read it like every year or anything, but it is a great book.
Okay. No, I get it. There's
And
books that I would...
It's not even that... You know what? It's not even just simply the fact that so much of it has changed to the point to where it's fucking unrecognizable and destroys every single theme about that book. It's also just a terrible film. My favorite book of all time is Less Than Zero by Bret Easton Ellis. And
That one.
the movie version of Less Than Zero that they made in the 80s, also James Spader, is
Anything with James Spader.
a
is
great movie.
good
It's
parts on the
also
screen.
a great movie. But here's the thing. As an adaptation-wise, the movie Less Than Zero is way off from the book. But it's still a great movie. Like, it would be... But that is something that would be very hard to turn into a movie. I kind of get why that movie was changed. Because Less Than Zero, the book, is a man's odyssey through the drug scene in the 1980s when he goes home to see his friends, when he's home from college on break, on Christmas break. And it's very much a big monologue about him going through this scenery. It's kind of like in... I think this is a much better book.
Like a coming of age?
No,
Not coming
no,
of
no,
age,
no, no,
but
no,
like
no, 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 no.
A narrative of
It's a
what
bit,
happened.
yeah. It's very just like, this is what's going on. This is what he's witnessing, and the scene has changed.
I walked
His
to the
friends
door.
have
She's a
changed,
crazy dame.
but
I gave her a
he's
cigarette.
no, it's nothing like
No,
that.
I'm
But
joking.
but it's yeah. It really is this man's odyssey, and he's also into that scene too. So it's not, but he's also maybe not as hardcore as some of his friends are, but he's also into that scene as well. He does drugs. He hooks up with men, women. There's one part where he's just watching a snuff film. There's a part where he sees like a woman tied up from a gang rape and stuff like that. But it's very disturbing because the way he talks about it in the book is almost like he could be talking about anything. He could be talking about like his bowl of cereal, but he's talking about like this woman who's been raped. It's very disturbing.
Oh,
the
so
way
he's
that
just
the movie,
so detached. From,
yeah,
okay.
the way that the movie is the movie is very much it's very much an anti-drug film. It's Andrew McCarthy. He plays Clay. He comes home, and his friends are on drugs. But it's way more.
So it's Andrew McCarthy and James Spader again?
Yeah, and Robert Downey Jr.
Why have I not seen this?
Robert Downey Jr. plays his friend Julian, who's very hooked on drugs.
Why have you not shown me this movie?
And Jamie Gertz is his girlfriend, who's also on drugs. But anyway, but in the movie, Clay's not. He's trying to help his friend get away from this scene, and Julian owes James Spader all this money, and the book is nothing like that. Like nothing like that. There are parts that kind of happen, but the context is different.
Still
but here's the thing. Julian kind of, but like Clay, no. But here's the thing. Like it would be very hard to do what they did in that book and make a movie adaptation about it. But here's why that movie still works: is because that movie, like the book, is still a look into that scene that you didn't see very much in movies in the 1980s, like that dark and really disturbing and pretty depressing, and like it's still a haunting film because it's still a look into that scene. Different than the way the book did, but still a look into that scene that you didn't see very much with youth back then in a movie or in a book. I mean, yeah, you see movies like that all the time now, but then not quite.
They showed the fireplace scene from. Sorry.
So.
Don't hurt me. I'll leave right now.
But like, so that. Yeah, that took a very different that was very different in terms of an adaptation, but it still worked. Mm-hmm. They still made it work as a film. This movie does not do that at all. This is just explores none of the themes of that book.
It's generic cliche,
in any way, shape, or form. Like, there's a fire in a house. There is a house party in this. The mom is slightly attracted to the son, but it does nothing with that.
Not even attractive. More so, she is like taken at the love they feel for each other and what he has inspired in the daughter and the other son. And how they're acting that they have never acted before.
Yeah, but Nicholas Sparks that shit in this. Like,
that's what I'm saying. That's the only connection from what you're saying that they have in this movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's
connection.
Yeah, that's
so it wasn't there. There was no in love.
And there's a character named David, and there's a character named Jade. That's fucking it. His last name's different, but I get that.
What was his last name?
His last name was David Axelrod, but I get why they changed that because David Axelrod is the name of President Obama's like former political advisor. Very prominent figure in the news, and very prominent figure in the news and in politics. So I get why they would change that. That would be like if in the book his name was Joe Biden. Like I get why that would be changed.
But her name was Sarah Palin.
Right. Like I get that, but like I get why you'd want to change that.
No,
but,
and I mean with names, it's kind of like unless there's some huge significance.
It's like whatever. Like
it's a name. What's in a name?
So.
Romeo.
If you need to see something for Valentine's Day, About Last Night was really good. It's a fucking masterpiece compared to this. But if you need to see something for Valentine's Day...
Put in Caligula, the greatest love story ever told between a brother and a sister.
Go see fucking About Last Night. Go see the Lego Movie. Like, I said this in the other video. Go see... The Lego Movie's a good date movie. But I mean, if you need, like, romance and whatnot...
Is that why you brought the Indiana Jones Legos over to assemble while I was working on my plane?
No, I've had that for a long time.
I was like, wait, it all syncs up now.
No, I've had
For context, I'm working on something, and he comes over to visit, and he's got the big box of the Indiana Jones Minecraft Lego scene that he's putting together on my floor. I'm like,
Minecart.
Yeah, Minecart. I'm sorry. I'm very tired. That's what I meant. Minecart. I'm like, how are you gonna get that home? So he's like disassembling it in pieces, putting it back in the box, and taking it to take it home.
Yeah.
I'm just telling anecdotes because this has been so sad. Sorry. I'm trying to liven it
Yeah,
up.
I've got a minecart thing from Indiana
Dr.
Jones.
Jones!
Like, I've had it for a long time. But
You had that.
I bought that a lot of years ago.
Yeah.
But this movie really took the piss out of me, man. This movie really killed
Literally,
me.
he went to the bathroom like twice during it, and I had to catch him up.
Yeah, I got nothing. This movie really killed my ass. This did a number on me. This
So
really
if you
beat
like
this
the
movie
book-
really beat the shit out of me.
So, if you like the book in the original, it'll destroy you. If you have not seen nor read
If you like
either,
the original movie, what?
I don't know. You seem to have some fondleness over memories of the original.
Of the original movie?
I don't know. You speak of it fondly. I'm very
Compared
confused.
to that,
I'm very confused at how you feel about this genre.
the original movie was terrible.
Okay.
The original movie was awful.
I don't know, but
It's fucking better than that.
Okay.
Well, as an adaptation, it's better than that. As it did not make me as mad as that
Okay.
movie did.
Well, that's
as
what
a
I
movie,
meant.
as a film, yeah, like I said earlier, as a film, this is a better film.
I'm very confused on this hierarchy of where we are between the three things. Like,
You thought I liked the
no,
1981 movie?
but okay, because you were very angry at the differences.
Yeah.
And I thought you liked the 81 movie in correlation of the book better.
Oh, yeah, as an adaptation, the 81
That's
movie.
what I meant.
Yeah, as an 81
Okay,
movie, but I
that's-
didn't like the movie.
Oh, I worded it incorrectly.
Oh.
Anyway, I'll just stop talking.
You're
I
fine.
was trying to say something else.
No, you're
I just meant apparently, if you feel as Brad does and you've read the book and you loved it, you will hate this
You
movie.
will. It will kill you.
If
It
you
will-
had known nothing of it prior to seeing
will
it, you will
murder
think it
your
is
ass.
a generic cliche. It's not worth watching, really. I'm not huge on love films anyways, but it was... the only reason I was remotely entertained in this is because I had seen your video, and I was seeing what a huge difference this was from what I do know of the original movie. So I think that's the only reason I was remotely entertained. Plus, I had you next to me being like, what? In the book, this happened. And I just found that hilarious because of it's supposed to be an adaptation. So you have you need to get your own little personal Brad that'll go with you to the theater and say, hey,
Don't.
in the book. I'm joking.
I know
Let me-
you're joking. I'm
okay.
joking too.
I can't tell you look so broken.
I am broken.
Look, we matchy.
Do
We're
not.
great.
Yeah. Do not take anyone who's read the book to go see this movie.
I was being facetious.
Don't even go to this fucking movie. Even if you haven't read the fucking book, just stay home and read the book.
Or
Don't
swipe the book now is what the kids do.
do not support this fucking movie in any way, shape, or form. At fucking all. And what the fuck is with this? It pisses me off so goddamn much that fucking something like that gets murdered in an adaptation. Oh, but God forbid anyone takes any fucking liberties with a fucking Stephanie Meyer book. God forbid, like, someone changes that fucking shit to this fucking point. Yeah, let's take...
Oh my god, that would be awesome. There would be a riot of all of them.
Fuck them. Fuck all of them.
That would be
They
great.
fucking did this shit. That fucking audience did this shit. Gave us this fucking piece of shit. It's insulting to even call this an adaptation. It is, World War Z was a better adaptation
Now,
than
see,
this.
that would have been something maybe that I would have gotten mad about because I love the book to World War Z. And basically talking to Dave after you guys had seen it, I pretty much called it from the preview. So I
that
think maybe
was
I
a
get
better
why-
adaptation than
Okay.
this movie.
Well, okay, how about this? I'll watch World War Z and you can watch me be tortured and we'll be even. There you go.
You need to watch that by yourself and not watch World War Z.
Okay, you made me watch Last Airbender, and that was way more torture than this shit. My blood pressure rose, and you're like, no, it'll be funny with a group. And you and fucking
It was
Sarah and
funny
Brian
with a
just
group.
sat there and watched my face get red, and you're like, it's funny, right?
that was even.
So we are even.
Even that was a better
No,
adaptation.
no,
Yeah, it
don't
is.
get me started.
No, it is.
No,
You
no,
haven't
no,
read the
don't
book
care.
to this.
Nope. But your
That.
reaction to how you were and how I felt
No,
doesn't compare.
I'm not talking about reaction. I'm talking about adaptation. The things that happened in the last Airbender movie, as bad as they were, a lot of it happened in the show.
I'm talking about level of anger making a
Oh,
person
level.
mad.
I'm not talking about that. I said it
what
was.
I'm talking
I said it was a worse. I said that the last Airbender is a better adaptation than this goddamn movie.
All I
and
heard
it
was
is.
better, and then I got angry.
No,
Sorry.
It was. Yeah, I thought as a movie, as a film, taking my personal issues out of it and just looking at the last Airbender movie
Better
compared to this.
experience version. That's what I mean.
As like taking my own personal stuff out of it and looking at it purely as a film
Mm-hmm.
compared to the film The Last Airbender. Yeah, this is a better film.
I
than
mean,
The Last
as a
Airbender.
fan from the source material, and on a gauge of level of how angry this makes you, from being a fan of the source material, I am saying I win with Last Airbender. On the gauge of how angry someone is, on how, like, the movie adaptation made you feel.
at least that, like, and I don't mean to like belittle how mad you were or anything like that, because yeah, that is a bad movie. The Last Airbender is a terrible film.
I mean,
And
I
don't
get
mean
that when you love something and it's destroyed in front of you.
Yeah, I mean, my point is that at least the things that happened in that movie did happen in the show.
Or
I mean,
so
to
they
an
said
extent.
in the movie.
I mean, to an extent.
As
There were
you
things in
know.
it that yeah. I mean, there were things in it that. Don't get me wrong. I'm
Verbally
not saying
happened.
it was a good adaptation. I'm not saying that. It's terrible. It's a terrible film. It's a terrible adaptation.
I'm having flashbacks.
But it was closer than this goddamn movie was.
No, I was just speaking on the level of being a fan and how angry an adaptation makes you from the source material, whether it be book, accuracy, whatever. Just the anger gauge is where I can. Yes. So, the worst thing I hate about these movies is they know what movie we saw because it's the last showing, and I'm a girl, so they think I dragged you to this. It reflects poorly
They
on
don't
me.
give a shit.
Yes, they do.
They don't
I got
give a shit.
looks.
They probably
They're
thought-
like that poor man.
They
in the
probably
pink
thought
hat.
Nick and I were a gay couple at about last night.
Aren't you? You did go on like Gay Tuesdays. Have off.
What?
I don't know. I don't know. I make Gay Tuesdays.
I got nothing else, man. I've already said
Are
what
you tapped up for trailers?
Fuck that! I don't give a
Whenever
fuck about...
I rarely get to go to these things, and almost every time we don't get to talk about trailers.
I don't give a shit about the fucking... Oh, man, I can't even... I don't even
That's
wanna...
just what I mean. I barely get to go to these things, and then when I do, the person is so mad we don't talk
I don't
about
even
trailers.
want to say words. Words just... This movie killed words.
Is your brain melty?
No. If my brain was mush, I would have liked that movie.
No, I meant, did it make your brain melty to where you can't formulate words on how much you
It
hate it
made
anymore?
my soul melty.
Did it throw up a little bit?
No, I think it hung itself.
I died a little inside that day. I left the theater
little?
a little less whole.
A fucking lot. You stay away from this thing. Do not.
Unless you wanna
don't
torture
even
your
go
friend.
see the. Don't even go see this thing as a curiosity.
It's an act of torture.
No. What if you want that? If you want a curiosity and you want something that's bad and funny, kinda, and just pure what the fuck. You watch the 81 one if you have to. Even that's fucking terrible. But it's better than this piece of shit.
And again, if the only thing that probably the reason I survived through this is just because of you explaining to me how different what was going on is supposed to be, and then having seen your snob movie, so it kind of like I found humor in the comparison of it supposed to being an adaptation. If I had just gone into this, if you were like, hey, Julian, go see Endless Love, I would probably be just drained. I wouldn't be angry because there's no comparison. If this was just a movie, I'd be like, this is the most trite, boring, generic piece of shit.
And that's probably what a lot of people who haven't read the book will come away with from this movie. Anyone who hasn't read the book, I don't think they'll get as mad. I don't even know if they'll have much reason to get as mad as I am right now if you haven't read the book. Or
I'm
if
just
you don't
explaining
know
that's
anything
why
about
I
the
think
book.
my experience is very different than if someone just goes to see this, and very different as in, like, I mean, again, I didn't like it, and that's the only thing I think that saved me through this experience, and
when
I'm
Scott
so sorry.
Spencer was when Scott Spencer was at the premiere for the '81 one, Franco Zeffirelli, who directed it, I think leaned over to him at one point and said I'm sorry. He said I'm sorry. This is probably gonna feel like a knife to your heart. This movie's a shotgun to the fucking mouth. Fuck this so hard. Fuck everything about this movie. Fuck the people who made it. Fuck the people who produce it. Fuck the writers. Fuck all of them.
The actors did their job.
Yeah, the acting was fine. No. The acting was fine.
You can have the best actors in the world, and the movie will still be bad if the script is bad.
The acting was fine. The acting was fine. But seriously, someone needs to lose. Someone needs to lose their fucking job over this.
It makes you wonder if, on set, what's his face that played the dad is like, why
Bruce
am I so
Greenwood.
mad in this scene? I just wonder.
I love Bruce Greenwood. Bruce Greenwood is awesome, and he's good, and the acting's fine.
No, I just meant I'm always interested, when I see certain things, I think about how the pitches went in, the room, and so in this, I kind of wonder just on set if there was any, why am I so mad about this?
There is
Just
no
kind of
way the person who
questionings.
wrote this movie read the. There is no way the person who wrote this movie read the book. No goddamn way.
The actors reading the
I know.
script. Okay,
I know.
okay.
There's no fuck. They would. What would even? What would even be the point of if they were gonna make it this fucking different, and it is so goddamn fucking different? I don't even know why they would have wanted to have read the book to begin with, because they were already gonna fucking ruin it. There is no way they read the book.
They obviously read it because the actors are named after the people in the book.
Yeah. They could look at it.
You're gonna hit me.
They could. No. They're gonna.
You're mentally hit me with your mind bullets.
You can look. You can go to Wikipedia and look at the names of the characters on the fucking thing. There's no way they read them. There is no way.
They read the Cliff's Notes, I think.
No, I don't even believe that. No.
The Cliff's Notes of the Cliff's Notes of prior Cliff's Notes.
No.
They got fourth generation Cliff's Notes.
Not buying it at all. You
And
could.
the Post-it notes.
You not buying it all. You could read only 2 paragraphs of the book and come away and probably write a better adaptation than this movie.
I'm sorry for poking you through this.
You're fine. You didn't do anything worse than the movie did. Fuck.
I think
I'm
somewhere
done.
Jake is just kind of chimed and is smiling, taking some kind of pleasure, and he doesn't know why. It's because of what you're feeling right
This
now.
is a different kind of anger than that. This is different. This is different than just sitting through a bad movie. This is different. This is different than sitting through Smurfs 2. This is different than sitting through Die Hard 5, in my instance. This is a much different kind of anger than that. I can't even describe, since as long as I've been doing this, I cannot even fucking describe how pissed off I am at this fucking movie.
Dark.
This is a completely different kind of anger than Die Hard 5, Transformers 3, anything like that. This is way goddamn different. This is... Those other movies...
Getting the movies where people are broken.
Those other movies are horrible films. And yeah, I was pissed off at them. Those movies didn't hurt me as much as this movie did. And that's about all I got. Because those movies were... I could go home and kind of laugh it off and post a video and whatever, it's funny that I'm pissed off. This movie hurt. This movie hurt so goddamn much.
Now I feel really guilty.
Don't be. You're fine. you,
I feel awkward. I get to these movies and like the person's broken, and I'm just like.
If you weren't here, this would be like the most depressing fucking video I've ever done. And I made a movie about Dean Coral, and this would be.
Whatever. I mean, people are like, "Why is Jillian so happy when Brad is so clearly in pain, heartless bitch?"
You're fine. Don't worry about it.
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Happy Valentine's Day. I'm done. I've got nothing else to say about this. I'm fucking done.
There you go. You can end it there.
Bye.